I'm sure that is a fine lunch. But, isn't that a little odd? Look at this photograph. This is the photograph you took of the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is this guy not holding a knife? Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection. Let's be a little more careful with our evidence, shall we? It is you that needs to be more careful, Mr. Wright. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing. How can you tell that? Blood splatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stain on the chief prosecutor's coat? It's a black and white photograph! Ah. Yes, it is hard to tell, but this could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem except you. Mr. Wright, are you just gonna sit there and take that kind of abuse? Got a better idea? Objection! Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. That's it? If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. The prosecutor's guy was cold, calculating like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in that photograph. Well, are those gloves? Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves. These gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation. Premeditated murder, a serious offense. Witness, add this to your testimony. Murder was planned. Murder was planned. Objection! Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell boxed lunches for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. Indeed, it is my knife. What's with this case? The bloody murder weapon, a red car, all belonging to the prosecutor there. The defendant is the chief prosecutor for the district, right? Mommy, are prosecutors bad people? The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those special gloves. Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing? The murder weapon. Ugh. This knife just happened to be in the trunk of the car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon! Whoops! Order! Great, now the tide is turning in our favor. Nice show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free. Oh, but Edgeworth's got some... Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. Bah! The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution needs to prove. Nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If she wasn't, why would she have been wearing... I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again. Witness, please only tell us what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you! My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now? Come on! Whatever. Honest guy intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it? So if I order pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness. This one little itty-bitty thing. What's wrong with this here? Again and again. Also, I want to look at this autopsy report for a second. It says, died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. They keep pushing, they're going to keep pushing a specific time. The time in the autopsy report, it doesn't get mentioned at all. I guess 5:15 is within an hour and a half of 4 p.m., so what the hell. But it also mentions one knife wound. Objection! You say she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise. I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Starr. What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound. Aha! You're right! Good show, Mr. Edward. What a hunk. He's my hero, really. What about my objection? No one noticed? Well, witness? You got the crime scene set, right? Oh, thanks. I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood, but now I realize that such mistakes are possible. So, you're saying you mistook something for blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. Then tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify! Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. Hold on a second. What in the hell are you talking about here? Objection! Hold on. Objection! Messed that up. Sorry. Miss Starr, I demand an explanation. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you've proved it yourself with this photograph. Huh? But that can't be. Only a true professional could be so clueless. I'm sure you'll make a good lunch lady, have no fear. Harsh words, but good. In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevailed. What was my objection? Chopped liver? But it was there, a scarf. No, not that, something red, really. Well, now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude. Now back to business. What? Very well, witness, continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that. Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. The most important part? The part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might just be the moment of truth. Okay. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile. I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, the cobra is a kind of snake. Bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks. Note to self, Attorney Wright gets bitten by snake. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. Oil drum? Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will. Okay. Hold it! You say quickly. Were you close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Maybe I should press her for more details? Go for it. I'd like to see this on the floor plans, just to be safe. The Lunchland car was... She was a visitor, thus she was parked in the B block. So you witnessed the murder from here. That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes. Is that correct, Miss Starr? Yes, that's right. But there was a chain link fence in front of you. I went over it, of course. Amazing! The cocktail queen, lunch lady athlete indeed. It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence, so she couldn't have gotten my sister that fast. Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high, too. How come this guy didn't get away? Hold it! She mentioned the muffler. What exactly did she say? If I remembered exactly what I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler. Just that one word? So what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else.